Hello everyone, this is Andy from the Pixel Pub, and I'm here to talk about my top 5 followers in Metaphor ReFantazio. Okay, if you don't know, Metaphor ReFantazio is a game that came out this year, a JRPG produced by Atlas, an adjacent team to the Persona team. It is very Persona-esque. It is a very good game. I highly recommend it. And just like in Persona, you have your different social links with different characters, be it in your party or outside of your party. There's a bunch of different characters to get to know and follow their storylines and stuff like that. When I played this game, I maxed out every single one. So I know their stories. At least I kind of remember them. I might get some names wrong. At least for one, I can't remember exactly how it was pronounced. But that being said, if you haven't played this game and you don't want to play this game, there will be some minor spoilers for these characters. So if that's a thing that you want to avoid, then know it right here. I'm going to talk about these character storylines because it's pivotal to why I like them. Okay, number 5 is Juna. I can't remember. There's voice acting in this game. I can't remember exactly how they pronounce that. It was something just blew over my head for some reason. But she's on this list not really because of her story, her art that she goes through. She's the big songstress of the story. She's originally with Luis, and she comes over to your side and helps you out. She's in this top 5 because as soon as I got her in my party, I loved her class. Her masked dancer, I think is what it's called, and it goes from there, in royal something. But I really liked all her abilities to make enemies weak to something. So the way it just rolled out with my party towards the end game was that Juna would always go first. Juna, whatever. She'd always go first, and I could cast something to make, this big boss who's resilient to everything, make it weak to something, and then Stroll would go next, and he had all these elemental abilities like big fire attacks, big ice attacks that were also, the big sword attacks too, and he'd do a ton of damage because they'd be weak to it, and I might get an extra turn out of that, and it was awesome. So that's why she's up there. I love that type of stuff. I'm not usually one to be into like buffs and debuffs and stuff like that, but when I can figure it out and my simple brain can like, okay, 1 + 1 = 2, I can do that and have the math work in my favor, and I couldn't take her out of my party after that. She was great. It was awesome. Juna, the singer. All right, number 4, I just mentioned him, is Stroll. Stroll is the very first party member that you get. He's not the first character link you get with your followers. That's your little fairy friend, I forget her name. It's been a while since I played the game. But Stroll is up there because he has those big follow-up attacks that I have with Juna, and I do like his overarching story where he's like, he's got this big connection with Luis, and Luis destroying his town and stuff like that, and he's a former noble, and he's conflicted about how to help his people that was on their lands. His parents are dead, he's lost to his family, he doesn't have the money to support these people, and over the course of his little storyline there, he gets it resolved, and the people love him, and it seems like everything's wrapped up in a nice little bow. And he's he's like the only best friend character in one of these games that I actually like the Persona game specifically. Like, I didn't like Yusuke, I didn't like Ryuji, I didn't like Junpei. Like, fuck off. This Stroll's a good dude, and he did that good fucking massive handshake at the beginning. That's all the followers, really, the big handshake. But at the beginning, you're like, yeah. It feels like, Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers doing their thing. It's like, yes, let's fucking fight evil. Okay, number 3 is a character who's purely on here because of his story, and that is Heizme. He is the little bat-looking character who has the deep voice. I believe he's voiced by the same guy who does Sid in Final Fantasy 16. If he's not, he sounds just like him. I didn't look at the credits. His story is very depressing and very, real. It seems like, even though he's a little bat character, he's got a son who died before you met him, and he's got his son cremated in an urn, and he wants to be able to take him back to his village, but he's ostracized from his village, and he can't lay his son's remains there, and it goes back and forth. It's like ultimate sad dad type of stuff, and to be honest, I didn't really use him that much in battles. I think he's the 4th character you get, so I did use him for that at the beginning, but as soon as I started getting more, I started branching out, and so I didn't really use him that much. His story is pretty grim, and sad, and it really stays with you if you go through his entire thing. It has a little happy ending, because they all do. And yeah, Heismay, he's up there for all the sad dads out there. Okay, number 2, it's kind of a wild card here. I just love her. It's Katharina. She's the one you get the brawler archetype from. She's a tall, bunny-eared lady with the pink hair, and she shows up every now and again at the beginning of the game. And you fight her, and then you have a social link with her. And I don't know. I just love her. I love her spunk. She's great. She's got this storyline where she's basically wants to be like Robin Hood and steal from the rich and give to her poor friends, and that backfires massively in her face. And she comes to an understanding. But I thought she was just a ton of fun. Every interaction with her I thought was, great. She was very much not necessarily a humorous character in this very dark world, but just a colorful character. And everything about it I loved. I didn't really end up using the brawling archetype that much. To be honest, when I unlocked all the royal archetypes for the characters, I just used those because they're the best, really. But what a fun character. I love Katharina so much. That's why she's number 2. Now we're here at number 1. Number 1 is Brigitte. I love her so much. She's one of the very early ones that you find. She gives you a quest to go to some cave somewhere very early on. She sells all these magic igniters at her little shop in the royal capital. The name is escaping me now. She is very secretive. She wants to keep all her business close, but she kind of opens up to you, the main character. And she was my favorite as soon as you find out that she has a secret dog that she doesn't want anybody to know about, because I guess she doesn't want people to know that she has a weakness. It's something that she loves and it could be exploited. But then someone kidnaps the dog and she wants to destroy the planet, and I can identify. I love her so much for that. And then she's got the scene where the little bat children show up with basically guns, and they're pointing at her and like they're gonna kill her because they thought she was responsible for their town's destruction or whatever. And she takes them in and gives them jobs. She don't make slaves out of them. She's like, hey, test out these things for fun. She wants to make these magic igniters to do fun things, not just kill or cast fire or stuff like that. She was my favorite. That's all icing on the cake. As soon as I found out that, she loved her dog and she was gonna fucking go burn the fucking world down to find it, she nailed it. My favorite right there. She's not a party member. She doesn't, she will send you money every now and again if you become, top ranked with her. She'll give you discounts at her little shop. All that doesn't matter. It's all the dog thing for me. Straight up, yes. Brigitte is number 1. Okay, that's been my top 5 Metaphor followers. Probably a unique list amongst most people, but that's the fun thing about lists. You can make them your own. I want you to leave your top 5, top 10, top 3, top 1 followers of Metaphor ReFantazio if you played it in the comments below. I've been Andy from the Pixel Pup. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Peace out.